A lot of people start their own businesses with the hopes of having more flexibility, perhaps financial independence or freedom.
Ha! That sounds good, right?
Yeah, sounds great.
And then you talk to people who start their own business. A 2020 report for the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics found that self-employed were more likely to have lost work and reported an inability to work because of the pandemic. So we're looking at this question about the risks versus the rewards. And what if we have a family member or friend who's going through that stress of starting a business?
Yeah, so here to answer our questions is relationship expert Dr. Shonda Craft. Dr. Craft, thanks for being with us today.
Good morning.
Jason mentioned it, the stress of starting up a new business. It's a lot, and it can affect the people around you and yourself if you're the one doing it.
Yeah, I loved that guffaw that he started off with. It's kind of like all the things you thought you knew, just throw it out the window. Yeah, it's really important to remember that starting a business can be really stressful on the family, and those stressors can actually look really different based off of the person's role in the family. So if you have somebody who has a primary caregiver role, or right now they're responsible for remote schooling of their children, or maybe even if they're just the primary income earner, the thought of kind of shifting gears and starting your own business can be really stressful on the entire family.
And it's important that we support that family member who's going through this. It can be challenging, right, to really understand what that person might need from us.
Absolutely. And people might have a certain level of ego or arrogance even about, having to take this on all for themselves and wanting to isolate and really not share their struggles. So it can also be really difficult to understand, okay, do they need me to step in? Do they need me to stay back? So trying to read the room, so to speak, of that person is really important.
Oh, that's so interesting, because for sure, like when you're starting a business, you can take on a little bit of a hero complex, like you're the one who's doing the whole thing. Interesting, very interesting. So what kind of tips do you have for folks?
Well, I think first and foremost, if you have a family member that's starting a business, you want to remember that their time is not going to be their own in the same way that it always has been. So if we can stop, making people feel guilty about being away from the family, or maybe not engaging or being available for their usual activities, that will be really helpful to that person, because the entrepreneur is already going through a lot of stress and strain around the time and energy they're pouring into the business. And so they don't need additional stress from their family member, from their partner, complaining that they're not home for dinner, or complaining that they're not making the kids' games, or things like that.
Should you be direct with this person? I mean, because there may be times that you are a little frustrated. And I wonder how you communicate these things gently, respectfully, sort of understanding what they're going through, but also knowing we still have a family here.
Well, and that is the tricky balance. It is about being honest and forthright with that person, and showing them that you respect what they're doing, help them build their confidence, and really affirm the importance of their actions, and also gently reminding them that we were here first, or some of these other responsibilities were here before the business, and there might need to be dueling priorities at times. So it really is that communication that becomes really important for both the entrepreneur as well as whoever's else in the family supporting them.
I mean, ideally you have that dialogue before you go through the process, right? Because once you're in it,
well, things pop up.
You're sort of in it, though, right? I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, if you're the business owner, it's really important to include your family member, your spouse, your partner in those really important decision-making processes up front. If you're going to need to shift financial priorities, for example, or if you need to travel more, you're going to be away from home more, inviting those people into the conversation to say, okay, how can we plan for this together so that we can, mitigate some of the stress and strain? You're not going to eliminate it, because starting a business and maintaining a business, especially right now, is really difficult. But the more that you can communicate and collaborate with the other people who are around you, the more likely you are to be able to get the actual support that you really need.
Yeah, there you go. Collaboration, support, and I love this idea of just understanding the importance of people's time, too.
Yes.
On both sides of that, for sure. Thanks,
Shonda.
Shonda. Appreciate it.
Thank you.